Hello, how are you, Maya?
I'm doing well, thanks. This is a big deal to you, right? Asking me how I am and actually remembering my name. What's been on your mind lately?
Today I want to talk about a simple greeting. Hello, can you tell me about it?
Ah, the history of hello. It's actually pretty interesting. The word itself comes from Old Germanic and Dutch words like hala and hola, originally used to get someone's attention from a distance. It wasn't always a polite greeting like we use it today. People weren't running around saying hello to each other as a default for centuries, more like, hey, pay attention over here. But its big moment comes with the invention of the telephone, right? Early telephone operators started with Ahoy, pirates, I guess. But Bell actually preferred Ahoy himself, but then hello started to catch on as a clear and simple way to start a phone conversation. By the late 1800s, it became the standard greeting. Did you know that before then people would say good day or how do you do to be polite? What got you thinking about all this?
Where did the word hello come from?
We touched on this a little bit already, but it actually comes from Old High German, Hella, and Old Dutch Hola, used for hailing others or getting attention. When the telephone came along in the 1870s, hello kind of won out over all the other options. Thomas Edison preferred Ahoy himself, but hello just stuck because it was clear and worked so well. Did you know people weren't sure how to actually answer the telephone when it first came out? Some people would just say what or what did you say
Was it
before they
always
settled on
used?
hello.
Was it always used
You
as a
mean like
greeting?
no, definitely not always. Before the telephone made it ubiquitous, hello was more of a shout to get attention or a call from a distance. It wasn't the polite standard greeting like it is now. Before the telephone, people would use things like good day or how do you do for more formal greetings. And you didn't just shout hello as you walked into someone's parlor. The telephone really turned it into the polite thing it is now.
Why did hello become so popular?
It really came down to convenience and the telephone. Hello was just clear and worked well over the phone line. That early tech wasn't great, so simpler was better. But honestly, there was some marketing magic at play too. Bell telephone system actively encouraged operators to use hello. They basically promoted greeting,
Who,
and people went with it. Plus, it's easier than saying ahoy every time you pick up the phone, right?
who,
What made you
sugge-
curious about this particular?
who suggested
Could you?
using
I'm not
hello over
following.
the telephone?
The thing is, no one suggested using hello on the telephone initially. It kind of just happened organically with the operators. But when Alexander Graham Bell actually invented the telephone, he actually used ahoy as his preferred greeting based on nautical tradition, though it didn't really catch on with the public. As phone networks developed, hello took over because operators were the ones answering, and hello was easy to say clearly over those early phone lines.
That's increasing. Did people start using hello in daily life too?
Yeah, that's the interesting part. Before the telephone, people didn't really use hello as much in everyday conversation. It was mostly to get attention. But once it became the standard phone, gradually started to creep into daily life. Once people were already in the habit of saying it, it became much more common to start conversations with hello instead of good day or whatever else they were using before. So the telephone gave it a free advertisement, and eventually everyone started using it for more than just phones.
Hello use all over the world today.
Pretty much, it's become super widespread. Different languages have different greetings, of course, hola in Spanish, bonjour in French, but hello itself is used pretty commonly in tons of countries. I don't have exact stats on how many languages have adopted it, but it's safe to say it's one of the most internationally recognized greetings out there.
Thank you, Maya. I learned a lot about the word hello.
I'm glad I could share. You've got a curious mind. What sparked this whole dive into the history of hello, anyway?
It was really increasing to know its history and how it became popular.
I can definitely see why it's interesting how something that seems so simple has this whole story behind it. By the way, I was thinking about what you said about your live interview in Urdu. How did that go?